I'm going to do a quick flip through of this journal because another page is going to be coming out, and I'll do a flip through of the whole thing when it's all done, but I want to do one while the sequence is here. This is one of the wonderful things that I got from Aaron Brothers down here when they were going out of business, and I got a lot of really nice materials. This watercolor journal is wonderful. There's Mucho Macho, Mr. Toad. I would recommend reading it sometime. That's by Bill Griffith. Okay, so I think we've seen this one before. This was the result of going down to a silent disco event down at the pier, and they had live music as well, and the live music was also broadcast onto the headphones, and there were 4 different channels. 1 was live and 3 were disco on the beach. And I thought I would do some people or something like that, but with the headphones on, the music was just really in my head, and live music was right there in front of me, and I just, yeah. So this group is Barley, and one line out of a song of theirs was Jackals, we may be broken, but we are alive. That was October this year. And another group that played was Acoustic Graffiti, and they sang Led Zeppelin songs. And this one I keep kind of going back in, trying to bring this girl up. I think I brought her up enough, but anyway. And this one then is the result of a guided meditation at Shockbox with Joy Ray's art exhibit. And the person that led it was looking for a response from people, and I just gave him my old blank stare. And then I decided I'd try to replicate what it was that I had seen sort of moving around under my eyelids there. So I did this with a whole series of salt glazes. So you can see that. And I think I documented the process of it as well. All right, so there's that one. And then right after that, right after that, I did this sweet little painting on location there. And I love it because in the snares and the cymbals, the movement is there and I can hear it. And this person here is a drummer, a lady drummer that I saw several years ago down at the beach playing, and I was really just bowled over by the whole concept. And this is my friend Jack Tracy that plays around town, plays ukulele. I missed him last weekend. I was in a bar next door to where he was. Okay, so there's that. And then that's no longer in here because someone saw me painting this and contacted the gallery, who contacted me, and I sold it, and I'm delighted. Now, then I started messing around with neurographic art. So this is not Neurographica, but this is neurographic art, just kind of experimenting with something I could do with the kids down at Resin Gallery. They're all afraid to try something that's going to take more than an hour. And watercolors, I'm there to do watercolors. So I'm trying to figure out ways of giving them something to do that they can do. So this is one, and this is just lines, and then you put some shapes on, and then you round all the corners of the intersections. And then you paint what you have, and you can have fun. Oh, and good thing about it is like each cell you paint separately, so they can, you can learn, anybody can learn about the properties of watercolor while you're doing this. Okay, that's one. And this one, that's called Black Bastard. And this one is called Ancient Mollusk. And it also is just, mindful lines, trying to think about this person who's an ancient mollusk. And then some shapes on it to break up the lines more, and then rounding the corners and painting the cells separately. And it's just really fun because everything is unexpected. It just looks better than you think all the time. All right, so then I went farther into the neurographic, and this one I used this particular penny. And you take your Sharpie and you put your penny on the edge of the paper and you start pushing it around wherever it goes. They roll as you go. They turn and roll. So you have to be following it around. So these lines are where the penny takes you. And you can start the penny, in any number of places. Then, after the lines, I put the penny down to draw around to make the circle shapes. And then I thought, well, it's a brand new penny. That's what I liked about it. It was from just 2021, brand new and shiny. Well, maybe I should just glue it on here. That would look pretty good. And then I embellished a little more with these little dots and named it A Penny for Your Thoughts, because these are thoughts that we're working and establishing new, smooth, neural connections. Again, because what we're winding up with is not anything we particularly had in mind. It's evolving as we go. Okay, neurographic art. Now, so this one looks like a big angel to me. This one, I have on another tape, I tested out alcohol-based ink that I made out of food coloring and vodka. It is not real, it's color fast, I know that. I tested out my food colorings on a swatch in the window for a year, and they're pretty good. But they do come up when you put water on them. This is another neurographic done by pushing a penny around. And I may have used 50-cent pieces as well as a penny. But what I pushed around was a penny. And this one was just, oh, well, I'm thinking about the women's show at Shockbox. And I put in, oh yeah, I think I have 14 circles, just, I don't know how many people, but I was just sort of casually thinking. Let's see. And the whole thing looks like a cat to me. Here's the body and here, and neck, head's out here, and hands there. Oh. And then I did one with a quarter, and I found that the quarter follows a remarkably similar path every time you put it out. Part of it too is if the paper is curling up, it's going to keep pushing your coin back there. So this one has yet to be painted, and this is what they look like. But every intersection, you round the corners out. And those are like synapses, neural connections. This is one that I did, again, as an example for the kids down at Resin who are uninterested at best. I didn't know if they had Sharpies down there, so I tried one with a water-soluble marker. And it's quite nice. This here, these grays, right, they're made only by putting water and touching the pen and bringing it out. And these are made by trying to put a little color in and then touching it and letting it bleed out. So you can turn it into a wash, or you can turn it into kind of a little shadow around the cells. And this is a dog bug. See, eye, nose, mouth. antenna, antenna, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. Dog bug. And this is another one I tested out with the General Sketch and Wash. It is a water-soluble graphite, and I don't know, yeah, you kind of see it. When you go over it like this and pull the soluble part out into here to make a gray, the same way as with the pen, water-soluble pen, what's left there is almost metallic. Well, it is graphite. It's metallic looking, the line itself. I really like this one. And this one is 50 cent and JFK because I used a 50-cent piece to see how that would work. And my 50-cent piece was the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial coin with John F. Kennedy on it, JFK, 50 cent and JFK. And then right after this, I found out that 50 Cent is on Celebrity Big Brother. But anyway, he's coming up again, you know, like Frederick Douglass. He's coming up a lot. This is unfinished. This was a beautiful pink ocean and sky sunrise. Let's see. On February 4th. And then yesterday I got a bit more, and I saw it this morning, didn't get to it. I'm working on getting the buildings in here. And this is another neurographic. I tried doing one over a prepared background. And I used this stenciled blue. It's kind of pretty. Yeah, I got these poppies coming up again. I've got two pictures that I weighted down somewhere, and I can't remember where they are. That I did for examples that really belong on this video. I'll have to attach them to the end. They edited in. But yeah, I've wound up with a lot of poppies on those in California Gold. And here I have a little moth and poppies. And this one, oh, just playing around. I'm doing all of them by pushing the quarters and pushing coins around, though. That's really fun. And then today, messing around with my fabulous spray paint made of water and Winsor red. You get a good watercolor. This is your paint. Like I keep saying, uh-oh. Oh, I got some leakage over here on my stencil paper. You don't have to make this much when you're doing watercolor, but that's why you have the little bowl with your pigment up here, and you put the water down here, and you let the pigment run down into it, and that down in there is your paint. Like this. And it's full intensity red through stencils. Because this is a good watercolor, the color doesn't come up when I go over it with something else. You know, this page is going to have to have something creative done with it. Hey, well, I got to that faster than I thought. Oh, but I forgot to tell you. Yes, I have sold to someone who's been following my work for a while, and I am so pleased that she loves this one, as I do too. I like them all. All right, I'm at 29 minutes. That's pretty darn long. No, I'm not. I'm at 14:23. Okay, so please give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. I don't upload videos regularly. I've got 2 that are going up today. So if you click on the bell for announcements, you'll get a notification when I put one up. I don't myself get any bell announcements for anything. But the people, when you subscribe, it means the people are in your feed when you come in, and you can see if something new has come up or not. Okay. So please subscribe. It also helps me out to have more people, this exposed to more people. And I'm really trying to get the word on watercolor out there. I'm very concerned about people being way too enamored of acrylic pours and crafts made out of plastics that eventually get thrown away and wind up in our food chain. And the more we can cut plastics out, the better, you know. That doesn't mean I'm going to give up my Mod Podge, but I don't use it all that often. And I use my Elmer's glue, but not all that often. But paint, So watercolor is wonderful. Even paper, the best paper, you know what the best paper is? It's called 100% rag. You know what rags are? It's fabric that you recycle. So the best watercolor paper is 100% cotton rag, the absolute best. And where does it come from? Leftover fabric. So I'm happy to be a watercolorist. Gouache paint also is a water-based paint. Although there is something that's come out called acrylic gouache, and that's just too shocking to talk about. All right. Let's see. All right, I've gone over my 15. I don't really like to. Thank you so much for watching, and leave a comment or ask a question. So I'm kind of at the point where I'm curious what it is that people would like to hear more or less about. Okay. So this little notebook sold 2 paintings.